to my intuition. I tap into what is going on in the world around us. And I bring you the truth because that's what Siddiqi means, the friend that tells the truth. Now, this information is coming as channeled information. I am tapping into my collective consciousness that I am in regular contact with. The name of that collective is UmRay, which means the mother of light, the mother that holds light. So the questions are answered from a place of not only my own intuition and my own knowing, but moreover, I am referencing and asking these guides, this energy, to help us and assist us and further our consciousness. And so the questions are really answered from a place of love and service to you, and also the friend that tells you the truth. So let's get started. Today, I want to talk to you about the universal intervention that is happening. If this is a period of time where you have been asking for answers, you have been asking for guidance, you have been stuck in some way, shape, or form, right about now is when you're going to not be getting slapped upside the head by the universe, but you're going to be getting calls. You're actually going to get calls from people who, out of the blue, apparently out of the blue, they are giving you the answers. They are leading you directly to the source of wisdom, of knowledge, of intuition. They're reflecting back at you what it is that you have been asking to hear, the messages that you have been wanting to receive. Maybe you've been praying for them. Maybe you've been asking for a sign. Maybe you've been asking for an answer. And for those of us, I'm raising my hand to this one, who are a little slow on the uptake, who can't just take hearing it once, twice, three times. Sometimes we need to hear from multiple sources in order for that message of the next place we're going, of a behavior that is no longer serving us, of this calling that we have. Sometimes the universe, and I'm saying that as a broad term, hoping that you understand that this is a general reading. This is not specific to you, but if you are here, if you are listening to this, you can totally understand that you were asking for some more specific answers. And so today, during Dear Siddiqi, you will be getting not just the words, not just the information, but the actual frequency, the transmission of shift in energy, shift in consciousness, in the way you think, in what you do, in how you be, in empowerment. And that is what this week is really about. So you can assume that whenever you're watching this, that on some level, you've been asking for the answers to be given to you directly. And sometimes I say to myself, Siddiqi, watch out for what you ask for, because are you sure you're ready for it in the way that the universe serves it up? So I will give you an example from my own life. I've been asking for clarity on things. I've been crying, raging, despondent at times about directions to go, and really fighting myself, and in a period of feeling lost, feeling a little despondent, feeling a little flat energetically, just kind of feeling like I'm not sure that I can trust the direction. And moreover, even when people do tell, people that I love, people that I respect, they tell me the direction and they give me the picture and they give me the vision of what's possible, I still don't know how to bridge the gap between where I am and where I am being called to go. So if that is you, if you are in this gap period where you know that there's a vision of where you're being called to go next, but you're still stuck in some habitual way of thinking, of being, of behaving, some way of relating to yourself, of the world, you are in the right place and you are not alone. Today, the questions that we have picked have to do with what you truly need to tap into within yourself and connect with in order to overcome those barriers and those obstacles that we all have to fulfilling our destiny, to fulfilling our life's purpose, to really coming from a place of happiness, to get that satisfaction, that joy, that peace, that contentment that you have been asking for, that you have been working for, but perhaps up till now has been elusive. So if any of that makes sense, you are in the right place today. And I love Nora. Thank you. Thank you. Nora says, or a Facebook user says, I've definitely been asking for answers and clarity on those answers. That's right. And so today is the day where you ended up here and the universe is answering. You ask, the universe answers. And another person from Facebook says, I've changed my ask after your coaching. Now I ask to be gentle and so clear that I can't misunderstand the message. That's a great point. I'm not sure who that is, but yes, if you have been under my tutelage as a guide, you know that one of the big warnings that I give people is when you ask to be guided, when you ask a question, when you ask for an answer, make sure that you put the caveat on it. Hey, I don't need to be slapped upside the head, but please make it clear and obvious in the most gentle and graceful way. I say this from years and years of experience of thinking that give it to me fast, give it to me hard, give me the lessons so I can get the hell out of here, so I can clear this energy. I thought that that was the best way to go and that it was the most evolved way to approach life's lessons. And what I actually learned working with UmRay, this collective consciousness of energy, is that there is no right way to approach anything. There's just choices. How do we want to experience these issues, these lessons? How do we want the answers to come to us? And you do actually get to ask for it to be gentle. You do actually get to put the request out to the universe, please give me the answer, and have it come back to you in a loving way. So for example, I use my intuition. It is a big part of my business. I channel, but I also, in channeling is me tapping into this somewhat external source of guidance. This is collective. Think of Abraham Hicks, but this is UmRay. So I have this ability to tap into this collective and channel the answers. And I keep getting guided to, yes, and you still need to follow the intuition, those gut hits that come to you for a greater level of discernment. So yesterday I was standing in my kitchen, I was getting a glass of water, and I had just this hit. You got to call so-and-so. And I was just like, okay, I don't know what this is about, but I'm going to follow it. And so I followed it. And wouldn't you know that my friend was sitting down with another friend, and here I am FaceTiming in, and it ended up being this gentle but loving come to the truth moment for her. In here I have this collective of people that really love me, they really see me, they really know me, and the universe has sent them to me at once as an intervention so that I couldn't miss the signals. I could not miss the message because it wasn't just coming from one person, it was coming from two people simultaneously. And that is that synchronicity that leads you to really landing the message, that it wasn't just coming from one person, it wasn't someone's opinion, it was you asked and the answer was given. I hope this is clear to you. I hope this is helpful. My role here as a guide, as a mentor, is not just to give you the answers, but to reflect back at you that which you already know. And so what I offer in this show is my intuitive guidance. It is the channeled wisdom and information of UmRay. And ultimately, the goal is not for you to necessarily seek answers outside of yourself, but to instead get clarification, get affirmation, get someone else's eyes on the issue so that you can come back to the truth of who you are and practice it in all these areas of your life. So Nora says, it's those intuitive hits that really do the minute-to-minute guidance we all need. Yes. And so there's no shame in needing to look outside of yourself for clarification. But I know from 45 years of being trained as a psychic in meditation, I got trained at the Edgar Cayce Institute when I was 10 years old. And if you don't know Edgar Cayce, he's one of the greatest documented psychics of all time in the Western world. He did over 79,000 readings, psychic readings that were documented. So I've been trained for 45 years in this. And what I want to say to you is that this is actually not rocket science. This is a gift of reflecting back to you the truth of who you are. And sometimes we get so far out of alignment, out of congruence with ourselves, that we need that frequency of shift. We need that truth to come to us in a loving and sometimes, kind of wake up manner, in intervention manner. We need that external source of guidance to get back on track, to get back in alignment, to get congruent with ourselves so that we can move forward with life's trials, with the tribulations, move forward in our goals, our hopes, our dreams from a place of deep internal knowingness that even if we don't see the outcome of where we're going in the relationship, with your money, in your business, with your health, even if you don't see the outcomes, which I have to tell you from the other side of being able to see outcomes, it's often a gift it's often a gift that you can't see the outcome, because it would make where you are feel impossible to bridge that gap of, I have the vision, I have no idea how to get there. Why me? Where, what do I need to do to align with this vision that I'm getting? Because from where I am lacking. One of the fundamental things that we are going to discuss today is confidence. And a lack of confidence leads to a lack of resourcefulness, which also leads to not getting the outcomes that you want in a timely manner. So I'm looking over here at a screen with the questions. I hope this is clear. If you have any questions of your own, please do write in to DearSiddiqi@gmail.com. I know that there's a barcode that we have that you can scan with your phone. And I haven't gotten it together to be able to flash it on the screen now, but DearSiddiqi@gmail.com. Ask your question, ask it anonymously. And please, please, please do like this channel that you're watching this on. Like it, follow it, subscribe, so that you can get more of this channeled intuitive wisdom coming to you from your friend. That's me, Siddiqi. And also share this. You might hear this message and you might be the deliverer of the intervention to someone. You might connect the dots like, oh, hey, I heard this information over here and I know you're struggling with this over here. So in that way, you can be a conduit for the universe, the powers that be, a conduit for good. So question number 1 is from Self-Esteem Challenged in Newport Beach. Let me just put the Dear Siddiqi up there. Thanks, Nora, for that. Appreciate that. Okay, there you go. Dear Siddiqi, I am very accomplished in my career. I've worked long and hard to establish myself in my industry. As a 50-year-old plus woman, I have endured great hardships in a predominantly male-oriented business. Although my salary is competitive, I still find myself feeling less than my male counterparts. This shows up in how I carry myself. My shoulders are often slumped, and the fact that I hold back from participating in meetings, even though I have very smart ideas that would definitely help the company and the business and to further projects. I've done therapy for years. I do affirmations. I meditate. I still feel that my self-esteem is not on par with the men. How can I change this so that I can finally feel my value and my worth? That is a really great question. So the question is, how do I build my self-esteem? How do I build my self-esteem? This is very simple. This is about esteemable acts. So how do I build my self-esteem? Through esteemable acts. So if you, not acts, A-X-A-C-T-S, if you have been having this impulse to share at meetings and yet you've been holding yourself back, Those are the hits to your own self-esteem. Those are the doors that you shut, and you do not let yourself out. You do not let yourself voice your knowledge, your wisdom, your opinion. You are not valuing it. So, dear one, if you are not valuing that impulse to share an insight, to share some wisdom, to share some truth, then you are the one holding yourself back. And inevitably, this will show up in your view of self, your self-esteem. And so, how do you build your self-esteem? You courageously reverse engineer who you want to be and how you want to be, and you begin to act as if. So, self esteem is the end result of esteemable actions. You don't get self esteem and then take the actions. You don't all of a sudden have courage and then take action. No, no, no. That is the common mistake of when I feel courageous enough, when I feel like it, I will do this thing that is right in front of me to do that I know is the right next step, whether it's sharing at a meeting, asking for a raise, asking for something, sharing something that might be a little on the edge. The way you build self-esteem is esteemable actions, and self-esteem is the end result of the journey that you take within yourself of permission. So if there's a lack of self-esteem, there's a lack of permission, there's a lack of expression, there's a lack of voice, and there's a lack of you being. And so the image I get is a turtle that just, peeks its head out and sees what's going on, and then you just shell up within yourself. And of course, maybe there's the odd person that will come in there and try to coax you out. But in a business setting, how you grow self-esteem is that you value your own contribution and you act as if others will value it as well. And if they don't, clearly, based on the accomplishments that you've had in your career, the amount of time you've been doing this, clearly you do know that you have things to contribute and you're just holding yourself back. So how do you build your self-esteem? Esteemable acts. You act as if you already have the courage, and in that way you will experience yourself as courageous. I hope that helps. Self-esteem challenge in Newport Beach. That is a great question that comes up again and again, especially for women. I see that more with women than I see that with men. So then again, I'm looking over here. I'm looking at what people have written in, just so you know, I'm not distracted. I'm very focused. Okay, just clearing that energy out. Dear Siddiqi, I'm recently divorced and I've been using an app to date. Good for you. As a 43-year-old man, I feel I have a great deal to offer in a relationship. See, Newport Beach, self-esteem. He's claiming it. However, when I look at the profiles of other men, I see more hair, more muscles, and bigger smiles. And in parentheses, he says, I'm self-conscious about my teeth, so I don't smile very much. How can I increase my confidence so that it shows in my picture and my profile attracts women who can see beyond my balding head and my not so Mr. Atlas physique? I love that question. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just totally relating. And that is from Anonymous in Maryland. So ladies, self-esteem, men, confidence. Do you hear how it's the same question, but with a different nuance? So, dear, how do I increase my confidence? I want you to know that I have so many clients that have online dating apps and that have done online dating. And it never works out when people are attracted to just your appearance. So have confidence that when you put the truth of who you are out into the world, that you will attract that one right person. I've seen this happen again. I cannot tell you how many examples of this that I have in my business as a mentor. So many people have just put themselves out there. It's kind of like that game of you put your hand on someone else's hand and then they rip it away. So many people put dating apps up. They don't get the response they want. They pull them out. And it is about confidence. It's about confidence in who you are. and unabashedly showing people who you are as you are right now. So next week, I'm doing a free mini class about your personal brand photography, because if you didn't know, I've been a professional photographer for 35 years. I have this very unique process where I combine my intuition with photography, and how that relates to you, Anonymous in Maryland, is that when you are putting out a false image of yourself, a picture from 20 years ago, your point of attraction is on a former fictitious version of yourself that no longer exists. So the goal is to have the confidence to put yourself out there as you are today, because I've heard so many horror stories from friends, men and women, that have gone on dates with people and looked at the app and then looked at the person in the restaurant, and there's this disparity. And it's because of a lack of confidence in how you look right now, how you perceive yourself. And so the most confident thing is to embrace and embody who you are right now, and trust and know that the person that you are meant to be with is going to love you. Stretch marks, warts, pot belly, balding hair, there is someone out there that will truly appreciate your sense of humor, your wisdom, your knowledge, your compassion. And so we have to lead with that, not with how we think we need to appear, not with our appearance, not with our image, but with our heart and soul. And if you want to know how to do that, then come next Wednesday, March 1st. And it's going to be, this time it's going to be at 5:30 p.m. PST, so that more of you can attend. It's a 90-minute session. It's free. I'm going to put in the link below to that session. And it's called How to Plan Your Personal Brand Photography. And Anonymous, you are your brand. Your image is the brand that you're putting out there. And so the best thing that you can do to build your confidence is to magnetize the people to you who you are a vibrational fit with, who you are in vibrational alignment with, which is predicated on you being in vibrational alignment with yourself, accepting yourself no matter what your physical appearance, and knowing that you're coming from a heart-centered place of wanting to connect soul to soul. I get this all the time in my practice, in my business, people that want to attract to them their soulmates. And you cannot do that from a place of false appearances. I know that's obvious, but so if that sounds like something that would be beneficial to you as you look for more self-esteem, as you tap into more confidence to put yourself out there, whether it's in business or in dating, please, please, please consider yourself invited. And I will, Nora, if you'd put that link there, I will share that in the chat with you for that 90-minute free mini class about how to plan your personal brand and how to do photography, even if it's selfies, that's really in alignment, so that you are showing the world who you are, you're unabashedly standing in it, you are embodying it, and that is your point of attraction. So once again, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. This is Siddiqi Ray. This is Dear Siddiqi. Remember, you can write your questions in. I'm answering them for fun and for free right there, DearSiddiqi@gmail.com. You can write them in anonymously. I would just love to know, what are you going through in your relationships? What are you going through with your money, in your business, with your purpose, with your health? Let me give you some practical, intuitive guidance that can make life easier for you. And that is my goal. And that is my mission with these episodes. I love you so much. I'm so grateful you're here. Thank you again for joining me on another episode of Dear Siddiqi. And please, whatever platform you are watching this on, please subscribe if it's YouTube. If it's LinkedIn, let's connect. If it's Facebook, please follow me so that you can get more of these. And by all means, do share this with friends, because you might be the facilitator of someone else's transformation by just sharing this episode. Once again, thank you so much. I will see you again next week. And I will make sure that the link to the March 1st, How to Plan Your Personal Brand Photography, which is really about intuition, and it's really about the law of attraction in how you present yourself online. Please consider yourself invited to that. I'll put the invite below, and have a fantastic day. Great to have you here. Thank you so much for tuning in.